This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Friday, the 9th day of April in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. The Guyana Police Force is dispelling rumors this evening of kidnappings taking place in the country. In a statement today, the police force indicated that while it has received reports of missing persons, there are no reports of any kidnapping. The police force said a report about the attempted kidnapping of two young women has been proven to be false, and there have been no reports of any kidnappings received by the police within recent times. According to the police, while the call for neighbors and others to look out for each other is appreciated, the peddling of misinformation about alleged kidnappings can result in unwanted tension, anxiety, and stress across the country. The force said it has also taken note of social media postings about the number of missing person reports in the country. The Guyana Police Force said while it understands the concern expressed, it is refuting the allegation that the issue does not appear to be receiving the full attention of the Guyana Police Force. The statement said while the force will be doing more to publicize the incidents when reports are made, the Guyana Police Force is assuring the public that throughout the years it has dealt aggressively with missing person reports in terms of its follow-up action and ensuring investigations inclusive of all stations in the country being quickly informed of the reports along with the pertinent information. A missing persons unit has now been established within the Criminal Investigations Department of the Police Force to focus exclusively on leading investigations into reports of missing persons. Earlier this week, there were several reports of missing persons appearing on social media. In most of the cases, the missing persons have since been reunited with their families. In two other separate cases, two young men who were missing in two different parts of the country were found dead. In both cases, there were no marks of violence on their bodies. Those investigations remain active. More news coming up in just a moment.
Guyana, we've been through it all.
But as a people we have
weathered every storm
and risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
all the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
we are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited will be hosting its annual general meeting on Sunday, April 11th, 2021 at 10 a.m. at its registered office, 45 Hatfield Street, Freeburg, Georgetown. The AGM will be conducted via virtual voting and physical voting. Members who have registered to vote virtually will receive an email or text message confirming their registration and instructions to join the meeting. For those members desirous of voting in person, polling stations will be available in each administrative region. Members are reminded that they must vote in their respective administrative region. Region 1, Brooms Hotel, Mabaruma, Northwest District. Region 2, State House, Anna Regina, Essequibo Coast. Region 3, Ministry of Education Building, Vredenhoek, West Coast, Demerara. Region 4, GPS CCU Headquarters, 45 Hatfield Street, Georgetown. And Region 5, Regional Democratic Council's Boardroom, Fort Wellington, West Coast, Berbice. Members are entitled to observe the AGM via the virtual platform but not to be physically present at the meeting except for the purposes of voting. The access code for the virtual platform will be available on our website and Facebook page. Members may contact the GPS CCU for any clarification or assistance on telephone numbers 225-7876 or 227-2300. Or regional representatives can be contacted on the following telephone numbers. Region 1, Ms. Sharon Santiago, 694-8306. Region 2, Ms. Verna Arjun, 699-1553. And Region 5, Ms. Tashana Blair, 608-0619.
At Sosh Financial, we create strategies for strengthening business and personal finances while helping our clients to build sustainable wealth. Our financial and business consultancy services are uniquely tailored to ensure every client receives quality packages and optimal results. Our financial services include financial reporting and analysis, financial status assessment, internal audits, bookkeeping and records management, financial planning advice, tax returns. Our business advisory services are related to business plans, business startups, operational improvement, business management, document preparation, procedures development, efficient marketing. Call or WhatsApp us today for your free consultation on telephone number 592-665-6045. Sosh Financial, strengthening businesses, building wealth.
University students, do you know who is seeing what you share online? Prospective employers, recruiters, and graduate schools often screen potential candidates before hiring or approving applications. Sharing inappropriate images or posts and using obscene language online can cost you dearly. Avoid paying the price. 1. Set your account to private. 2. Think twice before you share a post. 3. Get permission before posting details about others. Remember, what goes online stays online. Stop oversharing and get safe online.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
Welcome back. 3 days after he turned himself over to police investigators for questioning about the execution of Ricardo Fagundes, manslaughter convict Rondell Bacchus, also known as Killer, was released from police custody today. The Police Force's Public Relations Department confirmed that Bacchus was released on station bail after his attorney moved to the court and was granted a habeas corpus. News source understands that he was granted station bail in the sum of $100,000. The police in its statement also said that he has since been charged for damage to a police vehicle after being released and will make a court appearance in that matter next Monday. As part of him being granted bail in the Fagundes murder probe, Bacchus will have to make regular appearances at the Criminal Investigations Department of the Police Force. Earlier this week, the Guyana Police Force issued a wanted bulletin for the manslaughter convict, who was released from prison in 2019. Within an hour of the wanted bulletin being issued, the man showed up at the Criminal Investigations Department for questioning. His attorney has been quoted in the Stabroek News as saying that the police force has no evidence linking the man to the execution of Fagundes. 3 weeks ago, 42-year-old Ricardo Fagundes, also known as Paper Shorts, was killed in a hail of gunfire outside the Palm Court night spot. He was heading to a vehicle owned by his close friend and drug trafficking convict Roger Khan when two gunmen appeared out of a white wagon and opened fire on him. Roger Khan, who was inside Palm Court with family members at the time of the incident, said he is convinced that the bullets that killed his friend were really meant for him. The Guyana Police Force earlier this week indicated that it was reviewing various surveillance video recordings of the incident and the immediate aftermath. The force has dismissed suggestions that it is not paying keen attention to the murder probe. Guyana today joined the rest of the international community in expressing sympathy to the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II, on the passing of her husband, Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. In a letter to the Queen, President Irfan Ali said, Prince Philip served with great honor as the patriarch of the royal family and an extraordinary public servant, providing stalwart support through decades of unprecedented change. The president said Prince Philip's military career and service, particularly in the Second World War, has earned him great respect the world over. His Royal Highness's early outspoken advocacy for conservation and the protection of the environment inspired many, and the absence of his voice on those critical issues will be deeply felt, President Ali said. The president also stated that it is his hope that the royal family and the people of the United Kingdom will be comforted by the outpouring of love and support extended to them at this time. In a separate statement, opposition leader Joe Harman also extended sympathy to Queen Elizabeth and the British royal family in the passing of the Queen's husband. The royal family announced the passing of Prince Philip at the age of 99 this morning. In a statement, opposition leader Joe Harman noted that Prince Philip dedicated his life to his country, from a distinguished career in the Royal Navy during the Second World War to his decades of service as the Duke of Edinburgh. Mr. Harman said through over 70 years of marriage, Prince Philip supported the Queen in fulfilling her duties as head of the Commonwealth and shared with her the view of what humanity can attain through collaboration. Mr. Harman also said Prince Philip will be remembered for his early efforts to help modernize the royal family's image during a time of great change for Britain. He will also be remembered, Mr. Harman said, for his concern and love for young people, with the creation of the Duke of Edinburgh's award scheme and his support for more than 800 charities and good causes. Guyana was once a British colony. The country gained independence in 1966 and later attained republic status in 1970, divorcing completely from British rule and governance. With more than 20,000 residents ordered to evacuate several communities in St. Vincent and the Grenadines over the eruption of the Sophia volcano, several Caribbean countries have agreed to accommodate citizens until normalcy is restored on the island. President Air Finale on Thursday said that he has spoken to the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, and he has pledged Guyana's support. Today, the opposition leader Joe Harman added his voice to the issue and urged the Guyana government to put systems in place to accommodate Vincentians should the situation deteriorate. Mr. Harman said the opposition stands ready to support appropriate and necessary national initiatives and measures to provide assistance to the people of St. Vincent who are affected and are being evacuated to safer locations. He said the opposition urges that if it becomes necessary, the government put systems in place to accommodate Vincentians in Guyana who need to be evacuated and relocated. Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Grenada, and the British Virgin Islands have so far indicated their willingness to accommodate the citizens of St. Vincent. The opposition leader said he was disturbed to learn about the situation but stands with the rest of the Caribbean in solidarity with the people of St. Vincent. Disaster management experts have been deployed to the island as they continue to monitor the eruption. The volcano last erupted in 1979, and the previous eruption in 1902 killed more than 1,600 persons. The volcano, standing at 3,864 feet above sea level, also erupted in 1718, 1812, and 1814, according to the Seismic Research Center. Let's tell you now that the vaccination program against COVID-19 in Guyana is on target as more persons visit the vaccination sites across the country to get their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccines. The increase in vaccinations come as the country is also experiencing a wave in new cases, with 105 new cases recorded in the past 24 hours. Based on the Ministry of Health's data, there are more than 1,000 active cases in the country, with the majority of those active cases in home isolation. The Health Minister, Dr. Frank Anthony, today said he is pleased to see the increase in persons going to get their vaccines. Earlier this week, the Health Ministry unveiled additional vaccination sites across the country.
Well, so far, I think the vaccination program has been going quite well. Of recent, we saw more people coming out to get their vaccine. So on average, for the last 3 or 4 days, we've been doing about 4,500 vaccines per day, which has been a big increase because when we started out, we were doing probably about 2,000, then it went up to about 3,000. So now doing at least 4,500 a day is a big improvement. And we think that is going to increase as well.
The health minister said while the vaccines will not prevent persons from contracting the virus, it will prevent them from becoming seriously ill from it.
These vaccines have various levels of efficacy, but none of them would be 100% to prevent infection. So there's still that possibility that people, even being fully immunized, would have a little chance of getting infected. But it would be severely reduced because you're now fully vaccinated. But what these vaccines have done is that if you get you're fully vaccinated, then it prevents you from getting the most severe form of the disease.
The vaccination drive will continue throughout the weekend at most locations across the country. As the government seeks to tap into the skills of Guyanese living abroad, particularly the second and third generations, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation has announced plans to host a major diaspora conference next month. The event will be used as a platform to bring Guyanese living abroad up to date with the opportunities available in Guyana and how they can contribute. And that's according to Foreign Secretary Robert Prasad.
We don't want to lose the second and third generation of Guyanese living overseas, losing interest and also missing out on the opportunities here, but also to attract their skills, their capital to support what is taking place.
Mr. Prasad clarified that the emphasis on the diaspora is not to the disadvantage of Guyanese professionals living back here in Guyana.
Our emphasis in the diaspora is not to the disadvantage of persons who have lived here, who worked here, who have studied here, and who have perhaps made a sacrifice of staying on. Because sometimes I think people see it as a competition. It is not. For us, it is how we can complement the progress that we're making, how we can, as it were, to further support the government's vision and the developmental drive, the president's own efforts to transform the country.
He also explained that the emphasis will also be placed on migration and the establishment of a well-functioning structure for immigrants. The Foreign Secretary explained that the ministry has been working along with overseas missions to ramp up diaspora engagement activities. He noted that so far the establishment of a diaspora desk at the consulate in New York has been yielding positive results, and this could be used as a model for other consulates and embassies. The desk was established to promote trade and investment from overseas-based Guyanese. The government, he said, has been crafting a national Guyana diaspora engagement strategy and plan of action.
The Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union will be hosting its annual general meeting on Sunday, April 11, 2021 at 10 a.m. at its office 45 Hatfield Street, Freeburg, Georgetown. The AGM will be conducted via virtual voting and physical voting. Members who have registered to vote virtually will receive an email or text message confirming their registration and instructions to join the meeting. Members are entitled to observe the AGM via the virtual platform, but not to be physically present at the meeting except for the purpose of voting. The access code for the virtual platform will be available on our website and Facebook page. Members may contact the GPS CCU for any clarification or assistance on telephone numbers 225-7876 or 227-2300.
More employers are using social media to monitor employees. Here are some ways to maintain professionalism online. Never share confidential information about anyone, whether colleagues or clients. Do not share inappropriate posts from work gatherings. Keep company social media posts neutral. Never argue or make offensive comments. Never complain about your job to clients. Remember, what goes online stays online. Stop oversharing and get safe online.
The Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union will be hosting its annual general meeting on Sunday, April 11, 2021 at 10 a.m. at its office 45 Hatfield Street, Freeburg, Georgetown. The AGM will be conducted via virtual voting and physical voting. Members who have registered to vote virtually will receive an email or text message confirming their registration and instructions to join the meeting. Members are entitled to observe the AGM via the virtual platform, but not to be physically present at the meeting except for the purpose of voting. The access code for the virtual platform will be available on our website and Facebook page. Members may contact the GPS CCU for any clarification or assistance on telephone numbers 225-7876 or 227-2300.
Across the region tonight, the Sofer volcano in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which had been dormant for decades, erupted today, sending grey smoke into the air and persons dashing for evacuation. The volcano on the northern tip of the main island of St. Vincent had started showing signs of renewed activity in late December. It moved into an explosive state earlier today, the National Emergency Management Organization said on Twitter. The Emergency Management Agency said the ashfall had been registered as far as the country's international airport on the southern part of the island, more than 12 miles away, while an ash plume had billowed 20,000 feet over the Atlantic Ocean. Video clips of the volcano show the sky darkened by ash as people wearing face masks trudged between the streets lugging their belongings. Other clips posted on social media also showed homes and streets blanketed in grayish-white ash. There were no immediate reports of casualties from the eruption, and the extent of any damage in the surrounding area was unclear. The eruption came a day after officials had raised the alert level following several small tremors detected at the volcano. Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves has ordered a full evacuation of the areas. The Chief Medical Officer in Jamaica, Dr. Jacqueline McKenzie, says there have been no reports of blood clots in persons who received the AstraZeneca vaccine in Jamaica. She made the disclosure while speaking at a press conference yesterday. On Wednesday, the European Medicines Agency said it had found a possible link between the vaccine and the rare clots. The EU agency described the clots as a very rare side effect. Several countries have already imposed limits on who can receive the vaccine, and any restrictions are closely watched since the vaccine. Amid the concerns, Jamaica will continue to administer the vaccine the government has announced. It was disclosed that as of Wednesday, some 47,728 persons have received their first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine in Jamaica, and that represents 96% of the target population for the first month of the vaccination program. The AstraZeneca vaccine is a 2-dose medicine. And finally tonight, international news. Prince Philip, Queen Elizabeth II's husband, has died at the age of 99, Buckingham Palace announced this morning. A statement issued by the palace just after midday spoke of the Queen's deep sorrow following the death at Windsor Castle of Prince Philip. The Duke of Edinburgh, the longest-serving royal consort in British history, was at the Queen's side for more than her 6 decades of reign. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said he inspired the lives of countless young people. It is understood that the Prince of Wales, Prince Charles, has travelled to be with his mother at Windsor Castle. Speaking at Downing Street, the Prime Minister said the Duke had earned the affection of generations in the United Kingdom and across the Commonwealth and around the world. In tribute, the flag at Buckingham Palace was lowered to half-mast and a notice was posted on the gates to mark the Duke's passing. People placed floral tributes outside the palace, while hundreds visited Windsor Castle to pay their respects. However, the government urged the public not to gather or leave tributes at royal residences amid the coronavirus pandemic. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting. Have a safe weekend.